Okay, so let's talk about dating because I do get a lot of phone calls and I do have a lot of friends that have problems. They don't necessarily ask me about the whole dating thing, but they do have a lot of problems in the dating world and or already in their very serious relationships or marriage. So this is the thing. For some reason, I always say, let's go back to basics because that's where things are, in the basics. And I think that we just complicate things way too much. I always say, if you want to start dating, find out what the definition is of dating. If you're dating, that means you are either the boyfriend or the girlfriend of the other person. So again, find the definition of what a boyfriend is and what a girlfriend is and what dating is for. And I think that there is a huge misconception about what dating is for, and a lot of people end up wounded and end up hurting. I know that people think it's fun and let's just have fun and nothing serious and all that stuff. But the problem from seeing it as a fun thing, which it's not that it's not fun. I'm just saying that thinking about it just as a fun thing without really having a goal or an expectation of it ends up hurting people and it ends up hurting you. And if you are hurting at some point in time, when you do get married, you're going to have that hurt still, and you may end up hurting that spouse of yours in the future. So one of my friends that I love her, she was telling me actually about 3 weeks ago that a guy asked her out. And so I had a short conversation with her, but I asked her, like, are you ready to date? And she just turned 30, I believe. So of course you would think that the age that she is in, like 30, of course you're ready to date. But the problem is that it's not about the age. It is more about where you are in life, in your feelings. I've met people that are in their 50s and they're not ready to date. It really depends on, have you healed the child in you? Have you healed past traumas? Because I'll tell you this, you may find the most perfect person, like the person you asked from A to Z. This is what I want. This is how I want him to be. I want him tall and I want him like blonde and blue eyes and I want him to be a doctor. Like everything that you ask for in a list, he may come and he may be the most perfect person. However, if you haven't healed, if you have not dealt with your trauma and your emotions and all your past, what you're going to bring into the table is a lot of hurt that he doesn't deserve. And the other thing I told her that day was, you have to know that you are the only one that is responsible for your happiness. We cannot put the other person as the one that is responsible for our happiness. And I hear this a lot in many couples that are having issues and are about to get a divorce or even or going through a divorce. They say, it's just that he doesn't make me happy anymore. She doesn't make me happy anymore. And I always ask, well, when was this the responsibility of the other person? When was she supposed to be the one that made you happy? And when were you the one that was supposed to make that person happy? Happiness, it comes from you. It cannot come from the other person. And the other thing I was telling her is that you have to learn that you are whole. For me, especially, I'm a believer. So I do believe that Christ completely fulfills me and I'm whole in him. But you have to learn that you're whole, because the whole thing about I need my other half, or I just met my other half, mathematically speaking, that means that when the person leaves, you end up at 50%. And that can be. When the person leaves, they decide to leave, and that's it. You continue to be whole. You continue to be 100%. You may cry. You may get some tissues, it may hurt, blah, 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 boo, 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 and we hug it out and we just continue life because life continues and you continue to be whole. But there is a very huge misconception about the whole better half. Oh, she's my better half, or he's my better half. Please stop saying that. Continue instead saying, I am whole. I am whole. With him or without him, with her or without her. Yes, they are going to come and they're supposed to encourage you and lift you and cherish you and all the good stuff that we say in the altar. Which takes me to, I guess, number 2. Point 2. When we are at the altar, we say, me, name, promise to cherish you, love you, protect you, yada, 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 till death do us apart. And then the other person says, me, so-and-so, promise to do all that good stuff until death do us apart. So if you think about what we're doing at the altar when we are getting married, I am promising that I will do all these things every day of my life till death do us apart. But somehow, something weird happens once we kiss, once we go to honeymoon, and then we go to the house that we're going to start life together. And out of nowhere, there is no more, I promise, but you promised you were going to do this and you were supposed to clean and you were supposed to do all these things. But you don't keep yourself accountable for what you said you were going to do. Because in the altar, you didn't say, I will love you and cherish you and protect you, all the good stuff, if you do what you say you were going to do. At the altar, it was never conditional. At the altar, you said you were going to do it, and there was a period right there, until death do us apart. But somehow, in the everyday living, you forget that what you promised is not conditional. Is not conditional upon the other person doing something or not doing something. Yes, I know it hurts, it sucks. We don't like it when we give our all and everything and the other person is not doing, believe me, but we'll leave that for another day. We're talking about dating and the problems that people have during marriage. And that's a huge issue. So the third point with my friend is that she dates these guys that I don't even know why she does. And she's very pretty. But I told her, actually, do you know what your purpose in life is? She doesn't know. Do you know what his purpose in life is? And she doesn't know. So there you have two people that have no clue what they're supposed to do in life and no clue where they are going, no clue what they're supposed to do in life. And they want to get together just because he's cute or she may be cute or whatever you want. Or he makes me feel good, or he told me I was pretty. I don't know. All these things that I hear every day. And then I told her, actually, what if he was created for a specific purpose to go and be an astronaut and save Mother Earth from, something that was coming to Earth, and you were created to go to, I don't know, a country, Africa, something, and open an orphanage. That is completely far away from each other. That is completely apart from each other. And that definitely does not go hand in hand. It's not that it couldn't happen. It's just that it's going to be very difficult for you to help him succeed and support him and to be really that person that is supposed to be there for him. The Ezer Kenegdo, it's actually in Hebrew. And him to be there to support you and help you and encourage you and lift you and help you carry the weight when things go very difficult and very hard. So that is another thing. Before you decide to date, before you decide to look out there to see what's there, you have to know who you are and where you're going. And you have to know, once you know that, you need to know really who you are as far as what you bring to the table into a relationship, because we leave the responsibility for the other person to do everything, to make me happy, to do the dishes, to cook for me, to, raise the kids, and then what about me? What do I bring to the table? And it's not only about responsibilities, but maybe I'm good in finances and my husband is not. So I actually do bring that to the table. Maybe my husband is really good with creativity and I'm not necessarily the most creative person. I'm more of the let's wing it type of thing. And so you have to know what you bring to the table, because the both of you are supposed to create something way bigger and you guys are supposed to support each other. So when it comes down to dating, I always say, when we go to usually the usual date, oh, I'm going to pick you up, I'm going to take you to dinner, to a fancy dinner, just look cute, and then we're going to go to the movies and hang out. Or what someone told me when I was in college, let's go kick it. I asked kick what? Because I didn't know what they meant. Sorry. So usually the dinner, the romantic movie, and then you really don't get to know the person, because both people are going to smell amazing. They're going to do their hair so beautifully. They're going to present themselves as their best selves, of course, and they're going to go to the best restaurant and they're going to be in their best behavior, which sometimes is not even their best, is them faking to be someone that they were not, because they want to portray something amazing so that they are accepted and they can continue dating. I hate those dates, to be honest, just because it doesn't really show anything about the person. You don't get to know the person as a person. If you think about it, when you're living together, when you are already married, there are so many things in life that I get my friends calling me, complaining about their husbands of all these things. Let's just say, oh, he leaves all his clothes on the ground and I just don't know what to do. I'm always picking up after him. So that's one thing. The other thing is like he was supposed to be all cute and now out of nowhere, he doesn't look cute anymore. He doesn't even take care of himself. He doesn't smell good, all that stuff. So I said, if you are interested in someone, there are so many things that you have to do. There are so many dates, quote unquote, that I recommend for people instead of the restaurant, dinner, and the movies, which is go grocery shopping. One of the most important things is, what does the person buy at the grocery store? Are they buying chips and chocolate and all that stuff? There's nothing wrong with that. But maybe you are a health freak. Maybe you are very into fitness. And maybe you actually get to see that this person is not necessarily the person that is going to support you. And I'm going to make a point, very important point here. A lot of people tell me, oh, he loved chips and chocolate and that's all he was buying. But don't worry, I'll change him. FYI, you can't change him. That's not a thing. You can't change him. And please don't even try, because you're going to be as miserable trying to change him as him hearing you all day, every day, trying to change him. He doesn't want to change because of you. He needs to change because of him. And whatever you need to change because of you. So that is one thing. You have to look at that. The other thing is also at the grocery store, you have to see, where does he park? Does he get mad at whoever took his parking spot before him? Can you see that he's being kind to other people, or is he mean? Because if he's mean to other people, to random strangers at the grocery store, he's most likely going to be mean to you. FYI. The other date, quote unquote, that I say is go volunteer somewhere. Go and volunteer at the Habitat for Humanity. Go and volunteer at building houses for the less privileged people. Go and, Big Brothers, Big Sisters, something like that, even though you couldn't go together. But go and do something that you are surrounded by people and you have to volunteer. You have to give up of your time. You have to give up of your heart. You have to stop looking at yourself and what you need as a person and instead hey, let's go and help the world be a better place. Even just make a kid smile today. Go and do that, because you're going to learn so many things from that person the day you go volunteer. You'll get to see things that you do not learn when you are at a dinner and the movie. The other thing for me, extremely important, that God is the center of it all and that he loved God more than I did. So I told her, she's also Christian, she's a believer. And so I told her, you have to go to church with him, but do not sit with him. And she said, what do you mean don't sit with him? And I said, you're going to observe what he does, because no judgment, I'm just saying, if he's the person that is with his hands in his pocket and maybe the coffee in the other hand or something like that, he may not be ready to go in a spiritual battle for you when you can't. I know for me, I've gone through so many tough situations in my life where I prayed and prayed and prayed. And there was a time in my life where I just couldn't anymore. I was sobbing and I just needed someone to pray for me. I needed someone to lift my arms. I needed someone to be there for me. And that's what you need. You need someone to do that for you. And beautiful that we have a community, beautiful that you have friends that can do that for you and pray for you and make you feel better and help you heal whatever it is that you're going through. But what a beautiful thing that you actually get to have your spouse do that for you. So you need to make sure that your spouse is willing and able and knowledgeable to go on a spiritual battle for you and fight for you and be there for you and pray over you. Oh my gosh, that's huge for me. Anyway, the other date I recommended for her to do is to clean something. So I told her, do not go to his house. Do not ask him to go to your house because temptation is too high. So do not be alone. However, maybe a cleaning would be go and clean your car, maybe at a car wash, not the automatic one, but the one that you actually have to like clean. So you see if he really likes cleaning or he's like, I cleaned. Because if you're a clean freak and then he's like, it's cleaned already, you're going to be like, what? No. And those are little things that at the beginning, when we still have the butterflies and the little, sparkle, our eyes, we're like, oh, it's so cute. It doesn't matter. Oh, he looks so cute doing that. But believe me, a year after, 2 years after, 10 years after, that is not going to be cute anymore. Because you let certain things pass or kind of overlooked them because you didn't want to be so demanding and all that good stuff. But it does bother you. And those little things can become a big thing. Again, everybody's different. I'm not necessarily a clean freak. My husband is a little bit. So we have actually clashed before in that. And I wish I would have been told or I would have been shared about this list before I even married him, because I wish I would have learned so many things. I love him. We're great together, but I wish I would have done those things before. And the other one, just go out to an event together, not as a couple. Don't hold hands. Don't make it like we're official. No, just be there and have people surrounding you. Maybe a birthday party, maybe a shower, maybe not at the bar necessarily. Something that it's more, daylight and a little bit more open space so that you're able to see and observe everything about him. How does he talk to people? How does he sit? How does he talk? How does he eat? Does he chew with his mouth open? Which I don't like. Does he like all those things are so important, and that way you can observe. Now, one of the things that I also share is that sounds like you're expecting the perfect person. And there is not such a thing as a perfect person. However, I do believe that there is a perfect person for you specifically, not necessarily the perfect person, period, in the world, just the perfect person for you. The fact that they are the perfect person for you does not mean that they don't make mistakes or that they don't have flaws or they, etc. They are not a perfect person. But they are definitely the perfect person for you to help you with your purpose, to help you with your walk and everything. And I'm sharing this because when I was single, I was praying and I'm like, please, can you just bring this person? And I was very specific about the things that I wanted. I forgot to add some things that I didn't realize they were important, but God is so good. So when I'm talking about all these things that I want or that I need from this person, it sounds like, well, that's like the perfect man, that you are talking about the perfect man. And when I was praying about that person to come to my life, I just got this nudge in my heart saying, well, it's only fair enough that the perfect man is with the perfect woman, isn't it? And I'm like, oh, I don't want to hear that next part, because if that's only fair, that the perfect man is with the perfect woman, then that means that there's so much in me that I have to heal, that I have to work through, that I have to process, and that I have to change. Not for him, but for me. Not necessarily to become the perfect woman, because I will never get to that level. But I know that there were some things in me that I knew that I was doing that I didn't even like of myself. And of course, especially being a single mom for a while, I kind of left my feminine energy and I was like in go-go mode. I was like dad and mom and everything in between for my child. And so it was very hard to just let a man be the man of the house. And it was easier for me to learn how to give in and to submit to my husband once I learned that he was submitting to Christ, to God. It was easier for me specifically. But it is a process. So basically this is just really an invitation for you to think about dating differently. You can do whatever you want, of course. You're free to do whatever you want. But if you want to avoid hurting yourself, hurting people, or better yet, it seems like I'm dating the same person with a different face or a different name, then I would suggest for you to just have kind of a self-evaluation about where are you lacking, not for those men, for you. What is it that you are missing? Maybe you are looking for happiness in themselves instead of your happiness. Maybe you're looking to fulfill the purpose of someone else, especially with social media. Many times we want to live the lives of other people because they look really cool or they look amazing or they look so perfect, and they are all far from it. Life is life for everybody. Life is tough for everybody. So whatever you think you're missing for you to get to your next level, for you to be happier, for you to be more calm, for you to be more self-controlled, for you to have more patience, for you, whatever it is that you think that you can improve, do that by yourself. Don't date. Do that by yourself. Yes, you'll never get again to the perfection level. None of us will. But you will be more prepared to date because you're not going to have to put all that responsibility on the other person. And then again, my friends, especially all my girls that are listening, men do not change for you and you will never make him change. So please don't get into a relationship with a potential something and you say, I'm going to have him change, or he's going to change for me, or I'll change him. That does not happen. You're supposed to be the wife. You're supposed to be the helper. You're not supposed to be the mom. So that is it. I would love to hear what other creative ways you guys think that you guys can date that is not romantic, that is not just the two of you. I would love to hear what else you guys can come up with, and maybe we can add it to the list. the list is going to go viral. Anyway, thank you guys for being here. I can't wait to see you guys next time. Talk to you soon. Peace out. The list.